time since the start of the standoff in Ladakh. Prime Minister Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping shared the same stage that was at SCO in September. Now at the G20 Summit in Bali, we are being told that Modi and Xi exchanged greetings at the informal G20 dinner. First pictures playing out on Times Now. There you have it. Xi Jinping extending his hand and then both the leaders talking to each other. Srinjoy Chaudhary now joining us. Yes, Srinjoy, how should this be seen?
के बाद एक सिमसैट करेंगे ET नाउ के लिए.
Srinjoy, we can hear you. What do you make of the Modi-Xi meeting in Bali? All right, let's go to these pictures full frame. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping found themselves face to face for the first time since the start of the standoff in Galwan. Here they are, the two leaders exchanging greetings, and this was on the sidelines of an informal dinner. Prime Minister Modi can be seen there reciprocating to the gesture when Xi Jinping looks at him, smiles at him and extends his hand, to which Prime Minister Modi stops, shakes hand, and then the two leaders break out into a dialogue. Also in the frame, members of the Indian delegation, but let's freeze the frame. Let's try and freeze the frame there. There you have Xi Jinping extending the hand first. He looks at Prime Minister Modi, walking towards him. He extends his hand and then both the leaders shake hands. This is for the first time after the Galwan incident in which 20 Indian soldiers laid down their life fighting. Srinjoy.
Yes, it is an important meeting, but let's not forget that this was not a bilateral meeting. They were in the same room at the same time, so it's only natural that they will come face to face, and that was when a handshake happened. It does not mean that this was a bilateral meeting. It means that there was a handshake by two people who were in the same room at the same time and who will be in the same room at the same time tomorrow. In fact, they are going to see, both of them are going to as far as a place outside the usual place to see a mangrove forest. So they are going to be together. So naturally a handshake is in order, and that is exactly what happened. If you remember the time Prime Minister met with Nawaz Sharif, again there was no bilateral. He asked, how is your mother? How are you? How is your mother? And that's where it ended. Similarly, this is exactly what is happening. Here are two leaders who are meeting, who are there at the same time, and there are only 18 of them. And quite naturally, there has to be a handshake, which is exactly what has happened.
And this is unusual because in Samarkand, during the SCO Summit, Srinjoy, correct me if I am wrong, during the photo opportunity, the two leaders were not even standing close to each other. And both of them chose to ignore the informal dinner then.
Yes, that is absolutely correct as well. As far as Samarkand was concerned, the two leaders did not meet. They did not shake hands, but they were far away from each other. In this case, they just happened to be close to each other, which is why they were face to face, and naturally a handshake was the civilized thing to do, which is why Prime Minister and Xi Jinping have shaken hands. But pointedly, you notice there are bilaterals. One is over with Biden. There are with Rishi Sunak, with the French, with the Spanish, with the Australians, with the Singapore, with Widodo of Indonesia. There are 8 more bilaterals.
Let's see if this goes beyond just this handshake. Thanks for joining us with the latest. Taking a quick break. Padmaja Joshi joins you next.